this thing works. Looks like we're going live. Should be a fun time. I don't even know if it's working. It doesn't matter. We're just going to go for it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. I am not alone. Look, I have my good friend Comic Tom with me. Tom, how are you?
Dude, I'm doing so great. How you doing, Comic Fam? I'm so happy to be here. It's been too long. I miss the community over here on Bueller's channel. And first off, we got to start this off right. Congratulations, Bueller. Man, I'm so proud of you. 10K. Everybody, hey, Comic Fam. Come on. Do it. Do it. It's awesome.
Took a couple of years, but you know what? We got there. And you know what? It's always good to have goals. That was one of my goals, is to hit the 10K. And onward and upward, my friend. I mean, 15K is next, then 20, 25, keep on going from there. But you know all about a big amount of subscribers. You're sitting at like 28,000, something like that.
Hey, man, you know what? We serve the same community, and we're doing it together. We started within the first couple weeks, I think, or the same month, same time, yep. Right? 2 days apart. 2 days apart, man. And you've been doing some great work. I regularly utilize your videos to like anticipate what's coming out on the market, your weekly pick videos I've been using for years now. And I'm just excited that the community is utilizing your content as well, because I find it very valuable. But that's not why we're here today, right? I'm not supposed to just come on and kiss your ass, right?
No, that's not it. And not to mention that video hasn't been made for like 3 or 4 weeks. So
that is true. That is true. But you've been doing some really cool stuff, man. I saw that recent one you dropped, like 50 keys that are you can get for like under $100. Like that's good for over $100. Like
yep.
It's a great one.
Yeah. So this is night 3 of interview week. Our first guest on Monday was Jem from Gem Mint Collectibles. Yesterday was Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers. Obviously tonight, Wednesday night, new comic book day that doesn't exist right now. We have Comic Tom. Tomorrow is going to be Reggie from Reggie Collects, and Friday is going to be Brian from Simple Man's Comics. So thank you, everyone who is showing up tonight. We actually got a couple super chats in here already. Let's see if I can even find the chat is jumping up so fast. Rob Worst has a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Tom was giving me a lot of crap because of the duck up in the corner.
I'm like, still, dude, I haven't even gotten started, man. Comic Fam, I'm going to hold out for a little bit, but there's a duck on the screen. Wait, Bueller, why is there a duck on the screen? It's right by my head.
There's a duck up there because I'm not going to pay for the service to get the duck to go away. You're going to have to sit there with the duck.
The super chats, you're going to have to help out your brother a little bit more, because apparently it ain't enough, because there's a duck right there and you don't even know, but I'm like pretty scared of ducks. So
well, here's
I'm
the thing,
not,
man.
but dude, there's a duck on the screen. It's right by my head.
I'm from Oregon, and guess what? We got the ducks. So you know what? If anyone can get away with it, it's me. The ducks, man. So there you go.
These super chats right here, though, like they're going towards getting rid of the duck. So you should probably give some kudos to Rob Boswell.
All right, Rob, thank you so much. I'm not sure if it's going towards the duck. Perry, thank you so much. I'm not sure it's going towards the duck.
What is this? He says, "Hey, Dad, what's up? Are you now being known as Dad to the moderators?"
Is
this a mandate, Bueller? Is this something you require of the people who help run your channel?
Apparently, he likes to call me Dad. It's weird, but I've accepted it.
Are there other members of the community who call you Dad or Padre?
No, it's literally just Perry. It's only Perry. That's okay. Perry's thing. I
want to learn something today, Comic Fam. We're cooped up in these small quarters. I'm glad that we're here today. Comic Fam, it's April 22nd. Glad to be here with you.
Very cool. We got some other people in the chat. Inbound Hunter, hello. How are you? Steven Spock, hello. Of course, Sam from Sam's Tango Web, fellow Pacific Northwester, good friend of ours.
Sam?
Live with 2 YouTubers, JT Gamer. Let's see. Old Wolf is in here. Tony Miles. Dragon Ball Talks, hello. 12 Comic Top. There's a ton of people. Discovery Bay is in here as well. But you know what? I want to start off, and I want to tell kind of a personal story about Tom. And Tom doesn't know about this story.
Uh-oh.
But I just want to share this. And this is kind of how you get to know people online and their personalities. And you see you watch their videos, and you feel like you get to know them. Tom and I have met a handful of times. And, I think there's a different persona once you actually meet a person and you kind of get to know them. And one of the things Tom did, and like I said, he doesn't know about this, and he probably forgot about it. But Tom and I last year did a Comic-Con in Puyallup, Washington. And we found out that we were going to host a panel for Chris Claremont. And we were sitting there and we were trying to figure out what we were going to do, what we were going to say to Chris Claremont. So both of us were really excited, nervous. We've never done it before. And, there was a lot going on in our mind. We had a couple hours to prepare. We actually went across the street to a convenience store. I think it was a 7-Eleven. And Tom's trying to think about this right here. We're in there and we're getting something to eat. And out of nowhere,
I just want to let you know, I forgot this ever happened, but we did leave. And I'm like, you're reminding me now. This is funny. All right, continue. Yeah.
So we're in there and we're just grabbing some food or whatnot. And this lady walks in, this older lady walks in, and she is lost. She doesn't know, where she's trying to go. She needs directions and stuff. I'm not familiar with the area. And she asked me, I'm like, I really don't know. And then Tom, and like I said, Tom might not even remember this, but this made a lasting impression on me. Tom says, hey, let me help you. Tom takes out his phone, goes over to the lady, finds out everything she needs to know and how to get there, shows her how to get there, takes like 10 to 15 minutes of his time. I actually went out of the store and started eating while Tom was in there with this lady he never met. And he took the time to make sure that she felt comfortable where she needed to go. That moment right there, I'm just being totally honest, show me the type of guy that you were. And I just wanted to share that story because it went a long way in my book. And I remember that. This is over a year ago, but I remember you doing that. It's a little thing, but little things like that, to me, make a difference.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. It's, I completely forgot that was a thing that happened. But yeah, it's trying to do good by people, or wherever you go. I like to think that aside from, are you getting an echo on your end, by the way? I'm getting a pretty bad echo. Comic fam, let me know in the chat if you're hearing an echo. But I like to think that whenever I'm out, and there is a little bit of an echo. Bueller, I don't know if we can troubleshoot that. But let's see here. Could be better there. Huh?
I think you're on.
Maybe it's my end. Let's see here. Comic fam, I apologize. It could be me.
Is it coming from Tom or is it coming from me?
It's probably coming from me, man.
Yeah.
Can't hear you there. Sorry about that. Is that better?
Sorry.
I think that's better. All right, cool. Let us know in the chat. I apologize. Yeah, Tom has an echo. Oh, bummer. That's a bummer.
You get to hear Tom twice. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you do. Was Tom all gone? Can you hear me right now, Bueller?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay, cool. Let's see here.
We have another super chat from Life with Two YouTubers. Says, cheers to the kindness. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Awesome. Hey, Keynote Comics is saying it's gone. I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate you for bringing for giving me some recognition for something. It's karma, dude. It's like, yeah. I think the big thing is, I think no matter what, it's good to be good to people just in general. But I also think just even more so, it's turned on in my head when we're out and about doing comic book stuff. And by the way, I do comic book stuff every day. So it's like, it affects my life 100% of the time that I'm out in public. But now that I do this channel and I feel like I represent comics in a way, yeah. Like I want to bring people into this community and I want to be an example about what the community is filled with, which is just really good people, really generous people, very, very nice people, and all different types of people. So I think that in turn is, I don't know, a way that I try to do that is I take those opportunities like, I'm a comic book dude and I may be cosplaying sometime, and I'm in public. But anyways, I appreciate you bringing that up. I totally forgot about that. It's interesting, people who don't have smartphones in 2020, but you know what? That is what it is.
That was kind of weird. Yeah, I just remember that instance, and every now and then it kind of pops in my mind. And like I said, it told me a lot about you because I really lady didn't know anything about comics. It had nothing to do with comic books. It was just someone out in public in general that needed help, and you took the time to assist her. And I thought that was great. It's a little thing that you did, but to her it meant quite a bit. So I just wanted to point that out. But I need you to do me a favor. I need you to give a shout out to Hero and the Kid. From Will and Sean. Will, I don't know if you've watched any of Will's interviews. He's a 14-year-old. He's a kid. He's interviewing people. He's making funny videos about us and stuff like that. But you got to give a shout out to Will and Sean from Hero and the Kid.
Will and Sean from Hero and the Kid? It's awesome to hear that you guys are making some content and participating in the community. And I really appreciate you. And I know all the peeps here appreciate you too. Clearly Bueller does.
Yeah, they had me on there, and it was a lot of fun. They actually did a skit about Jem that I just loved. They actually did a skit about the BS show and a total spoof of it, which was just fantastic. So if you get the time, and if he does some interviews, if you got the time, you should set something up because it's a lot of fun. Because Will is the future of the comic book YouTube community. He's only 14. He's killing it, man. So it's awesome.
I love it, man. Keep it up, Will.
Chris, thank you so much. Another super chat from Chris. Thank you. We got Connie in here as well. Hello, Connie.
Hey, Connie.
You're doing well. And there's Hero and the Kid right there also. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. So here we are. We've been locked down for weeks. Okay? Weeks and weeks. And actually, your state, and actually very close to where you're located, was like the very first hot spot in the United States. Okay? Yes. What have you missed the most from being in lockdown for so long? And it doesn't have to be comic book related. What have you missed?
Oh, geez, man. The thing I miss most is people not, just like feeling safe. I think that's probably the first thing, is like thinking that there are individuals who are unemployed, who are like dealing with rough times right now, unable to pay their bills, people who are worried to go out in public because they're worried about getting sick. I'm sure you've experienced, and everyone in this chat have experienced it. Going out it's a kind of a weird thing, seeing someone walking towards you, you kind of just both know, like when you make eye contact and all of a sudden you think, should I move? And the next thing you know, they move to get out of your way. And you go, oh my gosh, that's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. All of that. That can all be done at any point. I am not having any of that. That's a bummer, dude. It's I'm really looking forward to some normalcy. And on a human level, just knowing that our people in our community are safe, and those who are struggling are not having, like, it's a bummer to think like there's so many things that individuals are already having to deal with, and to think that this thing that came out of nowhere really and is affecting people in the way that it is such an unfortunate thing that is something that people have to deal with, So I can't wait till that's removed. So all the stuff that we actually are focused on, we can resume that. I just don't want people to be struggling, That's what I'm looking forward to being done with.
So like I said, the Washington State was like the first hot spot in the area, and it was really close to where you're at, or somewhat close, correct?
Dude, I live in the counties. I have 2 places that I mostly frequent, 2 different studios that I use, and they're in relation to the comic book store and the work that I do there. So in Snohomish County is where I grew up. That's like where Comic Pops lives and where my home is. And that's where I am right now. I literally live in Snohomish County. I went to Snohomish High School. That was where one case, like half the cases that started out, that's where the first one hit. Then the other, I'm hearing the echo again. That just started popping up, whatever that just changed. I don't know what that was, but something changed. I hear the echo. So that was in Snohomish. Then it happened also in King County, which is, out like south, which is where where I spent a lot of my time as well making content. So I came back from C2E2 to everyone freaking out. Like, I feel like C2E2 happened, and then it was like 2 weeks. 2 weeks of things started to get canceled and people started reacting to what was happening. And then it got kind of scary. I came back to it. Like I came back to, the grocery stores are empty. And I'm like calling up my family, like, yo, we got Emerald City in like a couple weeks. I don't know if that's going to happen. And everyone's like, no, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But we're like, we can't even get like toilet paper right now. Like what's going on? Yeah. And that was right when I got back from C2E2, like that weekend. So sure enough, within a week, all that's happening here. And then boom, it happened across the country. And then everyone kind of caught up. But yeah, I was literally living in it. Like I came back to Washington and everyone's dealing with it. And that was definitely a scary thing.
Now you were lucky to go to basically, I'll just say it, C2E2 might be the last Comic-Con this year. And I don't want to say that because there's a lot of great Comic-Cons that I want to go to in local in my area and outside of the area. Sure. But there is a good possibility that C2E2 was the last major Comic-Con of the year, and luckily you got to go to it, so that's a positive. But yeah, Emerald City was literally like 2 weeks away when you got back. We talked on the phone, And I was like, hey man, because you wanted me to come up there on like a Sunday and stuff. And you're like, hey, I'll get you some tickets and stuff to take care of you. And then I called you up and you're like, I ain't going. I'm not going. And you're like, and I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a Comic-Con to go to. And sure enough, like 2 or 3 days later, they pulled the plug. So that didn't happen. Or real fast, I want to show this, and you actually mentioned this a little bit as well. Inbound Hunter said, I work at a grocery store, and it's bad. It's bad. Everyone is always so stressed, and if you accidentally bump them or something, they get so mad and instantly want to talk to a manager. So I wanted to bring that up. You talked about a grocery store real quick. I feel your pain because my son actually works at a grocery store. He works in the produce department of Fred Meyer's, which is a local grocery store chain in the Pacific Northwest. So he's been working this whole time, overtime, all this stuff, and he's anxious as well when he goes to work, and because he's dealing with hundreds of people a day when you're supposed to be not seeing all these people, and he's doing it. So I get your pain, Inbound Hunter, and I want you to know that you're not alone. And I think maybe some of the grocery workers kind of get overlooked for what they've been doing right now during this time. There's a lot of talk about the nurses and the medical profession, and they're doing their job. I also want to just shed some light on people working at the pharmacy or working at grocery departments and stuff like that, who are going to work every day and making sure we can eat, food and maybe buy toilet paper, but probably not.
Yeah, for real, man. They tell your son I said thank you. I mean, I think everyone in this chat probably has someone in their own family who is working an essential job. I mean, it's saying like 35% of Americans are working essential jobs for sure. So there you go.
Very much. So what is, when everything's cleared up, let's just say everything gets cleared up. What's the first thing you want to do?
The first thing that I want to do?
Yes.
See my family, probably hang out with my dad and my mom and get together. It was like my grandparents' birthday or my grandpa's birthday, like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, we could get together like on the porch. I was like, I don't want to be the one to get you sick. That's just not, it's a bummer, dude. But yeah, seeing family, but like on a more fun level, going to my LCS, seeing the community, doing shows again, man. I miss doing shows here. It's so much of what I do is, trying to blow my guests' mind with the content that I find and the comics that we talk about and read and doing all that every week. And we're doing it remotely. And I love it that we can still do it, the powers of the internet, which is awesome. And I'm grateful for us to be able to even do this at all. But it would be really cool to do it with my homies right here, with the seats that are in front of me.
Very much so. We have another super chat here, and I want to read this one because I like this. So Bruce Johnson with the 499 super chat says, Bueller, keep the live interviews going. Also, you and Tom should take the moderator show on the road and get a full-time gig with several Comic-Cons. For the record, Tom and I have actually had that conversation.
Yeah, man, it felt like an accomplishment at that show that you described earlier on. Like we were able to jump in there with really no expectation of what we were going to do. I sure as hell didn't know. You had a pretty good idea what you're hoping for, but what we ended up doing, I was proud of it. We came out with some really good content. We brought a lot of views to the creators that, I mean, honestly, at that show, between us both, we brought more views to, we can say it's on our channel, Randy Amberlynn, Ron Wilson, our Chris Claremont, which had multiple video takes from it, between Instagram and YouTube. It was the most viewed content at that convention. And for those creators, man, like it's not very often you see them with highly produced content and the kind of planning that we took. And we were able to do it because we went in there prepared. And honestly, you and I worked together. We figured out what we had to do. And then we left the con, as you said, went to 7-Eleven or went to empty rooms and just started figuring it out on our phones and built the show. So yeah, because that happened, I was like, yeah, I definitely can see us doing this again. And that's kind of the idea that this member of the community is bringing up. Yeah.
I like this. Tom the Fish says, get a haircut. Yeah, my son is in the same boat. He's like, man, he wants his haircut so much.
You want me to get this haircut? Look at how long it is. It's getting super long. I kind of wanted to grow it out, and then I let it go at C2E2, and it started getting really long, and then now I can't even get a haircut. So that's what it is. Yeah, I got that hair. It's good hair genes.
The Golden Minecraft, hello, how are you? Thank you for stopping in here. What was I going to say? Oh, I really like the Randy Amberlynn piece that you put together, and you highlighted. This is just a personal note. You highlighted his summer school that he does for the kids to learn how to draw and artwork and stuff. He's been doing that for. He's located here in Portland. That's why it means something to me. But he's been doing that for a long time, and they book it out really far in advance. I mean, it's sold out and stuff. But the fact that you made a great interview, you did a kind of interview and a piece about him, and you featured that, and it got, I don't know, 10, 15,000 views, probably more eyes on it than he's had before. I thought that was really cool. So, I mean, because of that, it's a little different, than just talking about comic books, and featuring that part in the video. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I appreciate noticing that. I mean, it's a cool thing that he does, and it's something that is virtually unknown to this community, but it's that kind of stuff that creators do that it changes the industry. Like it is the future of the industry. You hear it time and time again. I'm going to be on in an interview with Humberto Ramos here on Friday with Gem Mint at 9 a.m. on Gem Mint Collectibles YouTube channel. This is a shameless plug. And Humberto Ramos got his start by going to a convention like San Diego Comic-Con. He was discovered there. And that's something that a lot of comic book creators, it's a similar story. It's like someone gave him a chance. They gave him a little bit of their time. And that's what it took to have them become one of the greats, one of the legends now. And Randy Amberlynn, he's an awesome dude. He's super nice, super knowledgeable. And dude he did the inks for Carnage. I mean, he's so talented, and he's teaching kids every summer. It's amazing.
Yeah, and he's always been local here in the Portland area. He actually went to my rival high school and stuff, and just the fact that you shared that with everyone who watches the videos all over the world, and it gets a little bit more publicity because it's only really known locally here in the Portland area. So I thought that was really cool. I also want to just say hello to a few other people who jumped in here. I'm trying to do a better job on the chat. Gino, hello. Let's see.
ComicTom101.store.
Peter Benjamin Parker, hello. Comics on the Mind, hello. Thank you so much. Okay, let me ask you this. All the stuff going on, things are closed down. Comic shops aren't getting books. They're not getting published. Diamond pulled the plug a few weeks ago for a while. What kind of lasting effect, do you think this is going to have? Let's just say on comic collecting in general.
Ooh, what kind of effect is it? It's tough to say because I don't even think we know what's going to happen at all. Hearing now that Diamond is optimistic about everything kind of turning back on mid-May, end of May, to me is like wishful thinking. Some people are like, hey, look, there's an end in sight. But like, let me tell you what's happened out here in Washington. Everything's fine. Don't do anything. Oh, shoot, we should have done something 2 weeks ago, and it's not fine. And now we're an example for the rest of the country. Oh, it's only going to be 2 weeks. Just kidding. It's a month. Whoops. Did we say a month? We meant a month last week. Starting last week. It's 5 weeks. It's going to be 5 weeks. That's Cinco de Mayo now. Like we're now May 5th. Oh, it's okay. It's not going to be May 5th, but it's going to be mid-May. We're going to push it mid-May, maybe end of May, but it's not going to be May 5th, even though we said it's going to be May 5th. It's probably going to be mid-May. Can we everybody, right? We're excited? No, I'm not excited. I'm not sold on it. So yeah, there's a lot that could happen. If it resumes in mid-May and we see now what we're left with, I think comic book stores come back. I think that they weathered the storm. Those that weren't able to make it for a few weeks because they couldn't do anything throughout the month, that couldn't make it, it's terrible. It's like any store that's struggling that can't do it because of what's going on. It's terrible. But comic books will come back and it will resume, I think, as normal. And we'll probably see a boom coming back because everyone's going to come and want to buy their books and want to support, and it'll be a good thing. That's if it comes back soon. I don't know. Also, a lot can happen between now and then. We don't know people are like freaking out about DC distributing, but then we find out, they're kind of distributing books that were already made, and it's only like a couple titles, and it's not even really saying that they're distributing. So to me, it's all speculation, and it's like not the fun speculation. It's like it's pretty like pessimistic speculation. So I don't know. I have no idea where we're going to end up. It's going to be weeks until we're going to even really be able to speculate clearly because no one knows. No one knows what's going on.
Has Russ had any input as a comic shop owner?
Sure.
Has he talked to you a little bit about it?
Oh, sure. It's a ruckus, man. I mean, what everyone's seeing right now is how difficult it is to make, distribute, and sell comic books in the United States.
Yeah.
That's what you're seeing. Surprise. If you didn't know that, welcome to comic books. It's a medium that has struggled since its infancy, that honestly in 2020 really shouldn't even exist. I mean, I paid to print this, like you could read this on the internet. It's on the internet, but you know what? We love this. This is a reason why we love this and why we demand it coming out as quickly as we want it to, because we love it that much. And that's why it exists in print form and why we want it to come back so quick. So I don't know, man. It's crazy stuff.
I also want to have the same question. And since you kind of brought up a little bit ago, what kind of effect do you think this is going to have on Comic-Cons? I mean, that's a big gathering. I mean, is that going to change? I mean, we still want our Comic-Cons. We still want to meet these creators, but let's just face it. I mean, they are packing us into these rooms. We are, I actually said this to you last night. You made a wonderful video last year at the Rose City Comic-Con, and when you were waiting in line and they kept on telling you, get closer, and you said something like, get inside everybody, or something like that. And it's a great little clip.
Oh, I'm like, yeah, because they're like, closer, get closer. And I'm like as close as I want to be to people. We're in line. They're like, closer, we get closer. And she's kind of getting mad on camera. And I think what I said was like, touching. Everyone needs to be touching. Like I was joking because she literally was like, get closer. But yeah, that's a good question. And I didn't answer fully your question about Russ, but I think it goes hand in hand. Con season's different, First off, stores in general, Russ is, I've chatted with him in length because we talk about this every week. Like, without this community, holy smokes, would be in a different situation. It would be a very, very difficult thing if we were entirely dependent on our local community to have our LCS be successful, right? We have individuals on the internet and in this community that help, keep our stores alive throughout a time where we can't even open the doors to the public. Russ, that is. It's not my store, that's Russ's store, but we're affiliated because, we do the mail call with Russ and we're a team here on our show. But he's got to be closed, and he's got no new comics coming in, and it's not easy. And we chat about it regularly because people are now seeing what it's actually like to accomplish the task of getting comics sent out. It's not easy. It's not an easy process. And when there's one company making it all happen, such as Diamond, and they stop doing what they are dedicated to doing because of what's going on, we see the impact of it. Conventions, I don't know, man. That's a strange thing. It's going to be difficult to believe that there's going to be a convention this year. It's hard to, with so many that have already canceled, I wouldn't want to be the convention that doesn't cancel, right? So it's tough to imagine something even happening this year. And then, what does this look like going forward? I don't know. I think that a lot parts of the hobby are going to change. I think that there's going to be a lot more opportunities to do private signings. And, I think a good example of what just happened with CGC and Todd McFarlane and how that was a recent success. I did the coverage at C2E2 for the private signings for a number of the content creators, Donnie Cates, Ryan Stegman, and it's a convenient thing, but now it's a necessity because, for one, these are creators who spend hours and hours, like literally looking at their computer writing, or hours and hours looking at their computer drawing, or manually drawing, painting, whatever, and then they break to go to conventions, and then they sit and meet thousands of people. That's a tough sell. It's a tough sell when there's members like George Perez, who's retired. He's retired. He's not hitting conventions because he doesn't want to get ill. That's a tough one, thinking like Frank Miller. Like, I don't want to be the guy to get Frank Miller sick. What does that do for other people in the community? You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean for you, Bueller? Like, these are things I'm thinking about when I'm home, trying to think of comic book, videos to make and all that. It's like, it feels different. There's a stress there that I don't even want to think about until we know what's going on,
Yeah. Well, that was actually going to be my next question. What was your gut reaction to where if there's going to be any cons this year? And obviously, from what you just said, you feel as though there probably is not going to be any cons, which is really unfortunate. I was really looking forward to MegaCon, which is actually would have been last weekend. And
they have rescheduled MegaCon. We don't know if that's done yet. And
I don't see
my opinion doesn't matter.
They rescheduled it for June. For June. I don't think June is going to be That's the first big one. I don't think they want to be the first big one to open the doors, to be honest. But
I agree with you.
You never know. Yeah. But let's move on for that, because that was kind of doom and gloom stuff. So we're going to go into something a little more positive. So ComicTom has always done videos with other people in the room. I mean, that's kind of what he's known for. I mean, he doesn't like sitting by himself. He needs to have a co-host next to him so he can talk to and kind of make fun of, or whatever he does. Who knows? So what has it been like filming by yourself or remotely? I mean, that is totally foreign. I do it all the time. All my videos are just me. But for you, man, are you okay filming just yourself?
Oh, that's weird, man. I don't like it. I don't care for it, but I'm getting better at it, which is fun. It doesn't, I mean, I'm not necessarily ever filming by myself. Whenever I am actually by myself, I mean, I have someone like you on the other end, so I'm not technically by myself, but it definitely feels different. It's weird, you know, the technology and everything, you know, it's a thing. But when I am actually filming by myself, like there have been times where I've done like a top 10 when I have to just rough it and do it myself because there's no one available, and it makes the most sense for me just to hit the mic, look at the community, and just deliver that content in the best way I can in monologue format. I mean, that's what it is, you know, like, all right, I'm going to tell you for 15 minutes exactly what I think in the most precise way I can. All right. You know, like it takes editing, it takes practice. And honestly, it takes more time. I think that's the biggest thing, is that I find myself doing take after take sometimes. And then all of a sudden, now the take I just did doesn't feel as authentic. So I have to stop, and I got to take a break, and I got to review the material and then hit the mic again. Cause I'll do that, comic fam. Like I do it for those of you who don't know, I do a show every single week. I've done it for over 2 years, and it's the top 10 hottest comic books of the week. I keep that wizard. Can you see it on camera right now? You can't see it. Can you, Bueller, do me a favor? Back it up just a second.
Back it up.
Yeah. I want everyone to see the whole thing for a second.
Hold on.
There's a comic right there. All right. See that? That right there is a Wizard #1 comic fam. There's a reason why I decided to put that there. You can bring it back. The reason why that is there is because there's a top 10 hot comics list in that comic book. The original top 10, the first top 10, the most respected top 10 that's ever existed. And that like inspired us to continue on and try and just be the best top 10 comic book, what's hot on the market channel every single week. So we've been doing that for 2 years. And yeah, that video, if it feels even slightly off, I have so much pride in it being as perfect as possible that I will literally be like, all right, shoot, it's going to come out a half hour late, or heck, the next day, because I have to redo this number, and I'm going to redo it. I'm going to redo it till it's right. Because that's what we got to do. We got to deliver that quality, Bueller. I don't want anyone buying something by mistake because I misspoke, or I said something wrong, or I didn't like my tone was wrong and people interpreted it in a certain way. It's too much responsibility. So I got to respect that I sit next to every week and, deliver the heat.
Yeah. Or if you missed number 44 and nobody even notices.
Dude, I noticed that, man. Where was number 44 on your list? What was the book? You did this top 50 and you missed a number. What was the book at number 44 that you edited out by mistake that people...
It was a mid-grade first appearance of Sabretooth.
It's an important book, dude.
Yeah, I know. I made a mistake.
Iron Fist, man. I like it.
So I just want to say here, a couple weeks ago, Tom called me up. He's like, "Hey, man," he goes, I need to do my after show for the podcast, and to go on iTunes or whatever it is." And he's like, "Hey, you want to do it with me?" I said, "Sure, no problem." And so we came up with the topic and we discussed it, and we literally do that goddamn conversation 3 times. And he's like sitting there, and we do it. I thought it was good. He's like, "No, let's do it over." And literally we have to start from the very beginning. So we do it again. And like the 3rd time he goes, "Nope, let's do it." I go, "Are you messing with me? Because if you're just messing with me, dude, I'm going to knock you out." He's like, no, we got to do it again. There was nothing wrong with the first 2, man. They were just fine. But we had to do it 3 times. I don't know when you're going to release that on the channel. I know it's on the podcast.
Yeah, we do a bonus show at the end of the podcast that we release on YouTube every week. We do a podcast, and I just cover a bunch of fun, random comic book themed stuff. We talked about the largest DC collection to ever hit the market this last week. Gem Mint, shout out. He's in the chat right now. He joins me this week. We got Eris from Variant Comics, grandfather of YouTube channels, just hit 2 million. He's going to be on the show this Friday. But at the end of the show, although on YouTube it stops, we continue audio only on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. So to kind of incent people to go and listen to us on the audio portion, because we do like 45 plus minutes of comic book content. And I don't expect anybody to have that much time in one sitting. So try to make it in bite-sized contents in different ways you can consume it anywhere. And yeah, man, you know, it's a thing. I get this feeling. I've been doing it's 2 years, and there's just sometimes it's the other person, but I'll be real. Sometimes it's me, and like I'm listening and I'm engaging in some of my responses. I'll just be like, you know what, I can do better, or maybe we can do better. Maybe we can flow a different way. So it's just like, yeah, that's actually what happened. Comic Fam, it's pretty funny. The take, I almost kept it. I almost kept it in the take, but I didn't. I thought about it, but I'm like, no. I won't bring it up on the mic. Thanks, Bueller. But this is how it starts. It starts with, "Are you freaking kidding me, man?" And I'm like, "Bueller, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. And you're gonna love this. This is coming from like, this is basically verbatim. This is me. Bueller, you're gonna love this, man. You're gonna love this. Just bear with me. I know that this is gonna be the best take. This next one that we do is gonna be the best one." And Bueller's like, "How you doing, Comic Fam?" It was good too. It was a good take. I think I was right, but you know what? It's the process. You know, I gotta bring the heat. You know.
If you go listen to it on the podcast, you can hear the frustration in my voice in the first 10 seconds of that.
For sure.
It's like just only hello. You know, I'm totally pissed off, and then we just kind of go from there. But,
oh my gosh, just ask members of the show that about how it is. I mean, heck, I'll straight up be like, dude, let's just read you the whole take. Like whatever, let's just do the whole thing again. Let's restart from the beginning. And it's pretty good. That's when you get the best out of people, though. You know, keep them on their toes. I
agree. Hey, we got tomorrow's guest in the chat, Reggie. Hello, how are you?
Reggie, what's going on? You know what? You said he was like the neighborhood bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Right. You know, he doesn't bodybuild. He corrected me. I'm like, dude, I want some gym advice. He's like, dude, I got dad bod now. I don't bodybuild anymore.
It's in his title. It's when he opens his video.
You know what? I'm telling you what I want to hear on your show tomorrow. I want to know what's up with that. You know, because he's got to change it. He's either the bodybuilder or it's the dad bod of comic books. Which one is it going to be, my man?
This is the dad bod plus.
Dude, apparently got members in the chat calling you dad. This is why it's important that we discuss this as a team. We're a community here. We keep up with each other. What's going on, Reggie? I'm excited to hear what's going on tomorrow on Bueller's show.
Yeah. This is dad bod plus. I mean, your frame is like when I was in junior high school. That's what that was.
Appreciate that. Junior high. Plus. Okay, so this is what junior high looks like. Okay.
Yeah, you got the junior high. At least for me. Sorry, man. Okay. Let's move on there. I want to get into this is kind of cool because I really like this. So everyone knows about your mail call, okay?
Okay, my comic book subscription service. We're sending people comic books every month. ComicTom.com.
I want to talk about the exclusives in there, you know, because I think the fact that you're able to have some exclusives right now, and the ones that you started out doing, and now you have like Marvel on board. And I told you this because you sent me a picture of a couple of them. I was like, dude, that's the best one. That is the best Thor cover. That is the best Wolverine cover.
Thank you.
And you picked both of those out. I was like, you know, I don't want to like give you so much credit, you know, but honestly, you did a really good job.
Dude, it's what I do, man. Give me credit, man. It's my job. This is what I do, man. I have to. My goal. This is an example, man. This is cool. This just came in. I'm spoiling it for Fire Guy Ryan because I had him actually pack these books up to send off to CGC, and I had him actually do the entire package process. And I was like, dude, we're gonna send all these in, and these should be 9/8. I picked them apart. These should all be 9/8, and I'll know if they're not a 9. If there's a 9/6 in here, it's because you screwed it up, man. Like I was joking with him, and surprise, surprise, they all came back 9/8, which I'm like, oh hell yeah. But this one just came back. This is actually the giveaway we're doing for the podcast. It happened just to be sitting next to me, but yeah, Lee In Hyuk. You know, if I can, man, I have
say that again. Say that again.
Lee In Hyuk.
Man, you do that so well.
Everyone calls him In Hyuk Lee because that's how most people say it in America. But I've heard him pronounce his own name Lee In Hyuk, so I'm gonna go with the way he says it. But yeah, he kills it. You know, if I have an option, and I you know, I don't. It's a tricky thing. You know, I am super fortunate to be working with Marvel Comics. And I say that not loosely. I straight up asked, can I say I'm working with you guys like on camera? Is that okay to say? Yes, Tom, that is totally fine to say. You can say you're collaborating with us. You can say you're working with us. We're making this happen with you because we like your show. Boom. ComicTom 101 exclusive, Wolverine #1. Awesome opportunity. And that's what I try to do. You know, I'm trying to make exclusives, to hook up the community, but I'm trying to bring value in our boxes, dude. I'm trying to make comic books that are going to be not just attractive and dope, but ones that are going to pop off, that you're going to be excited to get in your box, with the hope that it either becomes something that you treasure in your collection, that you want to get graded and slabbed with the new CGC Wolverine label that looks dope with the claws going through the 9.8 right there. Pretty freaking cool. Or, which is totally fine, throwing it up on eBay, selling it, trading it, and getting something you want. Like, to me, if I could help people's collecting in this hobby where most people, like, for real, like, this isn't the easiest hobby to get into. It's very expensive. Like, if I can help with that process and get people into collecting, hell yeah, man, I'm going to do it. And I started doing it with Scout Comics late last year, and we barely could do it. But they gave us a shot, and James Hake, shout out, the dude's awesome. Writer of The Mall, writer of our next exclusive that we're releasing through Scout Comics, Long Live Wrestling. Saw some potential in our channel and gave us a great deal on starting out with a Gut Ghost exclusive. And then all of a sudden by January, we're working with Marvel. We released 3 Marvel exclusives so far. This last month, because Marvel wasn't distributing because of Diamond, as we just discussed, comic books didn't go out. Stores are shut down. They're not being distributed. However, Scout Comics, the company, James, that we collaborate with out in Florida, they're able to print comics. Their printer is in Florida. Scout is in Florida. Your boy is in Washington. We can get comics made no matter what, baby. And that's what we did. So I teamed up with Mike Mignola, the king of negative space, and created a Mignola Gut Ghost ComicTom exclusive that everyone got in their box this month. All
right. I want to get to the Mike Mignola cover. Okay.
Sure.
So let's take a little step back.
Bucket list, baby.
So I'm at Comics Pro event. All right. Earlier this year.
Sure.
And I meet up with Scout Comics. I'm talking to them, and they basically tell me some information about good old ComicTom there, which, you know, ComicTom hadn't shared with me yet. I'm surprised. So I go out.
I couldn't tell anybody.
I go out and I call Tom. I said, "So, you got a Mike Mignola cover coming out, huh?" And you're like, "What?"
I'm like, I couldn't tell you that. How did you know that?
Yeah.
Scout's over there leaking the information.
Yeah.
See, now we see how it happens, comic fam. When you see comic books spiking in the market, you're like, "Who? Did someone leak something? What's going on?" Oh, okay. Yeah. People, loose lips. No, but you kept it quiet, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. So I called him up and said, "Hey, man, I heard about your Mike Mignola, and the reason why it's your favorite artist. I mean, it's something special. You know, it's something special. I mean, great. You know, Marvel's doing some stuff with you, but if anyone has followed your channel or knows you, who knows your passion towards Mike Mignola, and now you literally have a cover exclusive that he did for you and for the channel and everything in the mystery mail call, that's pretty cool, man. That would be like for me having Todd McFarlane make me an exclusive cover for Comics with Bueller."
I was chatting with Nick, and he's like, "Dude, you said for sure." Sorry, I'm hearing that echo again. I was chatting with Nick, and he's like, "Dude, you got Mike Mignola. That's awesome, dude. Get Todd McFarlane. McFarlane, where you at?" So I think we need to start that. Because I want to make a McFarlane cover. But no, man, it's a privilege. It's an honor. That's my logo, dude. It's like dangerously close to Mike Mignola's signature on this cover. Yeah. And I like it. But yeah, it took months to get it figured out, to make it work. It almost didn't happen. We actually went into April with no intention of doing this cover and doing this variant that month.
Yeah.
I was looking at getting it done. But what ended up happening is we were going to be doing the Marvel exclusive for Empire, which is still happening whenever things get.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. So, and there is an echo again. I don't know what's going on with that echo, my brother. see here. Bear with us, Comic Fam. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
We got Fuchsia in here. Hello, Fuchsia. Thank you so much. Bake the Snake is in here as well. Alexandria, hello. Appreciate you stopping by. Just trying to get through here. Nunya Bizwax, hello. Let's see. God Tank, hello. Ryan, hello. Or let's see. Ryan, there's Ryan right there. And we also have the Dora 73. Is that right? Thank you so much.
Looks
all
like
right,
it.
Tom.
All right. I think I'm good.
Okay.
No, well, I kind of hear it a little bit, but we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna do what we can.
So the Mike Mignola cover, I mean, that's got to be a bucket list thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Bucket list thing that, so yeah, it wasn't actually going to happen. We're going to do this Empire Marvel exclusive. And then I got back from C2E2. I had been marketing it, dude. Like I got the cover from John Tyler Christopher, who did the negative space variants that we're going to be doing some giveaways with that month. We got some, it's exciting stuff. John Tyler Christopher killed it. And we have a propaganda variant locked and loaded. It was going to come out for April. Everyone's going to get it. And then I came back from C2E2 to this like, ooh, something's up, something's changing. Yeah. And man, I had a feeling. I had a feeling that something was not going to go right. And I just thought to myself, I am not going to miss a month having an exclusive. So that day I got back from C2E2, heard the news, let it sit for a day, woke up the next morning, called James, yo, Scout Comics, tell me the Mignola comic is ready to go. He's like, yeah, dude, we're going to do it for Emerald City, but we're kind of worried about Emerald City. Like, is Emerald City happening? And I said, dude, I don't know, but I need you to print my copies that you were going to print next month with my logo on it, like my exclusive. I need you to print that now. Can you do that? And he's like, oh, dude, we'll print it tomorrow and we'll get it to you next week because I don't want to risk it either. So I went all in on the cover, not knowing if I was going to have to just like buy all these books and hold on to them for an extra month. I didn't know how many to order. I had to guess because I didn't want to risk not having something. And then sure enough, we got these in hand and then Marvel just like, oh, we can't do it. We have to put a hold on everything. So Scout coming through. I can't tell you enough, man, how impressed I am by these professionals over there. They know how to do comics right. And dude, they helped us distribute more comics than Diamond this month. And we're probably going to do it again next month if things don't, change. Yeah.
I got to tell you, I mean, I got to meet the guys from Scout Comics and the same guys that you talked to. I was really impressed. I mean, they actually knew of the channel. We talked a little bit. We're actually, before everything went down, there was a lot of things in the works for Comics with Bueller and Scout Comics and having a discount code and all that stuff. It's just been a crazy time. So I'm just kind of taking a step back. When everything starts rolling again, we'll get that thing worked out and all that good stuff. Now you have a new exclusive this month, right? It's wrestling.
It is. It's kind of wrestling. That's what's interesting about this one. I did this one because I'm so stoked about the title. First off, option rumors. All right. First off, like I pick everything for a reason, Comic Fam. I don't just like, oh, it's a cool Wolverine cover by Lee and Hyuk. No, I picked that comic for a reason. I thought it was going to be hot. I thought it was going to end up hitting 70 to 80 bucks right out the gate. And guess what? Your boy called it. Like, that's what I do. I'm trying to find the best art for the community. And I'm trying to make the best looking comic books so that we can build this community and we can become a positive part of it, especially if we are helping get more of these comic books out there and more people reading them and collecting them. So, it's a privilege, but long live Pro Wrestling is written by James Hake, and the book is kind of more of a drama mystery, and there is like no wrestling inside.
Oh man!
So it's long live. But here's the thing: it is the best wrestling comic book that exists. Yeah. So there you go. It's issue 0. There isn't even an issue 1 yet. This is what was interesting about it to me. Like, this is what really spoke to me about it, especially aside from the fact that it's James' book and I'm excited to be able to bring another cover to print. We got artist Piper who did an amazing cover on it. It's outstanding. Comic Fam, check it out at ComicTom101.com. It's right on the main page, or you can check my Instagram at the same link, ComicTom101. We have a picture of it there, but I'm so excited. Gorgeous cover. But on the inside, like I read this book thinking I'm not a dude. I liked wrestling when I was younger, but I'm not a wrestling fan. Like I'm not like actively watching and consuming wrestling content, but I do talk about wrestling content pretty good amount, like more than some other things, like probably on par with video games as it comes to comic book collecting. There's a strong wrestling base. So I read this comic because my homie wrote the story and I wanted to read it. And by the end of it, I'm like, oh, geez, that's not what I expected. It's not really about wrestling, but it is. And it is like, I want to read the next issue. And what was going to happen with this book, it was going to have an issue 0 and then go straight to trade paperback. So they're going to just collect issues 1 through 5, add 0 to the front, and then just sell it as a book. But after releasing issue 0 and how good it did, now they're going to release them as single issues. So I saw that and was like, ooh, enough people like that and are like really interested. I'm interested. I want a variant. I want to be one of the only people with a variant of that comic book, and I want the best one. I think I got the best one. And aside from that, I'm hearing, oh, there's option rumors. What's going on? Yeah, and that's from Scout. So I went all in on it because Comic Fam, we have like a couple weeks, and if Marvel doesn't start doing distribution again through Diamond, this is we're not going to have time to make a comic. So I did what I had to do. I read through a bunch of different books. I found one I liked. I found an artist I really liked and put it all together, and we made a new comic. So a new cover to an existing comic that I'm super stoked about. And you know what, Bueller? I'm not going to announce it yet. I can't. You know it. I told you, Bueller, because I couldn't keep it a secret. This isn't the only variant I'm doing. I'm going to double down. And I'm going to do 2 this month because if like no one else can make comics, we got to bring the heat. But the second one that I'm doing is not something that everyone's going to get. It's going to be one of the Chase secret variants that I'm doing. And I can't tell you any hints or anything, but Bueller, you know, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
And it's your favorite fruit.
Yeah. So you're telling me that this wrestling comic is better than the Ultimate Warriors wrestling comic? Absolutely. It's better than the Undertaker from Chaos Comics?
Oh, it's way better. Dude, okay. It's better than, I mean, and honestly, you know how, I'm a big Boom fan. I'm a Buffy fan, dude. Yeah. Dude, I'm Power Rangers. My name's Tom. I collect all the top, like, dude, I have all the helmets up there. You know that I'm a Power Rangers fan. I bought all those toys at that same convention we were just talking about. I have every reason to be like, Boom is dope. Read Boom Comics. They got a bunch of wrestling comics over there. Yeah, I said it, dude. Best wrestling comic is James Hakes. Long live pro wrestling. I said it right here. That's what it is.
All right, we'll see. I'll take your word for it, but I'm going to
read the box, read the comic, and you let me know.
There you go. All right, let's move on. This is actually going to be the last question, and then we're going to get into something really fun after that. Okay. Are
we going to hit the chat at all?
What's that?
Is the chat going to ask any questions?
I don't know. I've been trying to pop them in there. Let's see.
Well, I'm super excited to see everybody here. I just appreciate them being here.
Brett Hessart, he says he's late. That's all right, Brett.
You want to know something funny, Brett? You won. I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but you won the giveaway on the podcast. I did the random winner, and it was Brett. I'm like, oh, Brett, hi. So look out on the podcast this week, man.
Oh, there you go. You got a little advance notice there, Brett.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever happened on the show where we were doing like this. That's cool.
That's cool. Ghost Rider, hello. Scotty Young, Mystery Mail Call exclusive, priceless, nice. Let's see. Okay, Tom, let's. I got a question for you. Okay.
What's up?
Recently, I was interviewed from this podcast from London, just like last week.
Okay.
And he asked me a question about my collection and what my goals are in my collection, what I want to add. And I knew he was going to ask this question. I actually thought about it quite a bit and about my collection. And my response to him was, you know what? If I don't add another book to my collection, I'd be okay with it. I am content with what I got. What I enjoy about comics right now is getting the opportunity to talk about comics.
Okay.
I enjoy that more so than actually going and buying a new book or adding something to my collection. I like the fact that at this time in my life, I get to talk about comics to other comic collectors and have these long conversations with people about these books. That is more important to me than buying a new comic or adding a grail to my collection right now. Would you say you feel the same way, or do you look at it a little different?
That as far as like what I want to like for like my personal collection, just like the hobby itself, me ComicTom just collecting for my personal gain kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I enjoy right now just talking about books.
Sure.
Where I'm okay if I don't add another book, I'm okay with it, man, because I have the opportunity to sit and talk with people about books. Something that you get to do as well. The enjoyment that I get from just talking about it and sharing my, passion, that means more to me than going out and finding that grail right now. I think you might agree. I don't know. I just wanted to put that out there.
Oh, absolutely. You know, a lot of the collecting aspect of what I do has changed, and it's changed on its own. And an aspect of it is what you just said, talking about it. What we were doing, you know, as far as over time, making videos over the last couple of years, something that's just kind of happened is we make content about comics. We make content about the collector's hobby. And then that turns into us chatting about specific things. And we get those things on show because we want to show the guest and show the community, and we get our hands on stuff. And I'm now thinking about some of the things that I would call part of my personal collection at the moment. You know, maybe I'll list it, maybe I'll sell it, whatever, but like, or maybe I'll use it to trade and get something else. But a lot of what I would call like on my pile of like personal stuff that I don't either necessarily know what I'm doing with it just yet, or it's mine, you know, that right there is, I would say largely based off of the show. Is like, that's the reason why I bought it in the first place, because I want to do a show around it. You know, I found some history, so I went and got that piece of history to bring it here, to have that, to be able to capture that bit of history and then immortalize it on the internet with the comic book community. Yeah. And then that's now a piece of my personal collection, or part of my collection that I may trade or sell one day. I don't know. So a lot of that stuff is like what I'm surrounded with, you know, is stuff that we've done shows on. I'm looking at like the Ghastly Grinner, which is a fake cover that was made for the comic book from Are You Afraid of the Dark? I'm looking at it right now because Ryan and I made a show about that issue. But I also have like the D23 exclusive back here because that's a book that means a lot to me because, you know, it's a book that was memorable because I had a really great New York Comic Con last year. So, you know, another thing that has also happened for the PC is, you know, we get gifts sent in, members of the community do a lot of like generous giving. We call it comic karma. Just people doing generous things, sending comic books out to others in the community just because other, you know, AOKs is what other people call it too. It's the same thing. Over here though, like sometimes people will send in and be like, yo, here's a Hellboy comic. And this one right here is actually the back of a Hellboy comic. And I flipped it around because it's such a cool, it's like penguins and Hellboy and it looks really cool, but I don't sell the things people gift me. And sometimes those things that people gift are like, they like stood in line for, they spend money on it. You know, they got it signed by someone. It means something to them. And now it means something to me. So a lot of my collection is actually like turning into stuff that the community has gifted me that I won't ever sell or do anything else with. So, yeah, I agree. I'm in the same boat as you that the majority of my collecting now is tied to this community and the service that we provide them, which is just trying to bring them valuable content, trying to entertain them, because this is a community that deserves it, because the medium is so dope that it's just, and it's never ending. Like there's so much content that could be made about all of this that I surround myself with every day that I just I think we both are privileged to get even a small chance to talk about it and have people listen.
Very much so. I mean, I look at my collection, and besides like new books I buy because I like to read them when they come out, as far as like adding back issues or stuff, I really don't. I don't buy a lot of books anymore. My collection has kind of became what people have gifted me and what they've sent me and stuff like that. And that's what I value the most, to be honest. All the other stuff that's in the collection, I don't mind.
I have a pull list though. That's one thing though. I do have a pull list, and you know, I think it's important to have some ongoing titles to pick up. So I do have that constantly growing, and sometimes I'll be like, oh shoot, I have all those issues, I can read them right now, you know. So that's also a thing that's constantly being worked on. I actually sit next to like my home office. I sit next to, it's like a wooden bin that has 3 different files. Like it's like a standing shelf that I can fit comics in. And the bottom one is books I want to read. The second shelf is like books I am going to read. And then the top one is books I need to read. And I just constantly put them there and I go through them, and I'm just trying to keep it revolving. So I got like Undiscovered Country in there right now, like the latest issue, I think like issue 4, Family Tree, the latest issues in there. And I'm going through, like, I just picked up like Buffy season 8, the whole omnibus. So I'm pretty excited about that too. So, I mean, reading comics, man, just like it's collecting, but collecting for the reason of just, I want to read it in hand. I want to sit down. I want to consume it and possibly be inspired to make a show around it or something. Or just geek out with somebody else about it too. That's always fun.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're wrapping down, and over the last 2 interviews, I've been doing a rapid 10 questions at the very end. We're not going to do that. We're going to do something a little different for you because you're special, I guess. I don't know.
I'm so special.
I know you're a huge Office fan. Okay,
yeah.
that's your.
Dude, I got a Dundee right here.
There you go. You got your own Dundee.
I don't screw around, dude.
So you already know the rules to this. So we're going to play Desert Island.
Oh, of course. I know Desert Island.
You've already done it probably many times. You probably do it all the time by yourself.
Sure.
So let's hear it, man. Your top 5 movies on a desert island.
Top 5 movies? Or geez, you're gonna say movies? Okay. Fellowship of the Ring, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I'll throw that's so tough. Alien 1 on there because I love that movie. National Treasure, because that's a watch anytime movie. I love me some Nicolas Cage. And I'll finish it off. And this list is always subject to change. But if I'm on a desert island, it's already scary enough. But I want some like crazy scary. Like I'm a big horror fan. So I'm going to throw Hereditary on there and not think anything of it. I want to be disturbed. If I'm by myself on a desert island and I'm stuck with Hereditary to watch, you know what? It's already sucky, but I'd rather be watching decapitation than screaming at a volleyball Wilson and watching Castaway and Tom Hanks. So
no Legally Blonde?
Maybe the second one, but no Legally Blonde. That wouldn't make the list.
All right. Top 5 books on Desert Island.
Top 5. Oh my gosh, you're doing more. All right. Watchmen, of course. We'll throw Dark Knight Returns on there because why not? Let's say how big of books? Like if it was are we talking omnis? Like I'm going to get the most stories I can.
Doesn't even have to be comic book related. It could be any book.
Any book?
Any book. You got 5 books. You could choose the dictionary if you wanted to. I don't care.
Geez, I probably want some maybe the Stand would be cool by Stephen King, or maybe even like Skeleton Key, like it's a bunch of short stories could be really fun. But yeah, Watchmen would be dope to get in there. I'm thinking omnis for like any comic book one that I would say. So like Why the Last Man. I don't even know if there's an omni for that, but just the whole set. Or maybe Saga. Take that back. If I'm gonna do some with Brian K. Vaughan, we're gonna do some Saga. So I'm gonna say the whole Saga run. Let's get the Boom Studios TMNT. It's just really great, and there's so many issues, and it's a lot of fun too. What else? I got room for one more at least on there. We'll throw in just because I want to read it, but I haven't. Let's throw in. Oh man, it's like the last one's gonna be tough, dude. I'm not sure. That's a tough one. I know I could just say anything though, and it doesn't actually matter. And this is all fictitious, so I'm just wasting time at this point. But you know what? It's how we do things here. When we're talking about comics, it's all good, comic fan. You're gonna stick with us, comic fan. I can keep this sentence going this whole time, and you're gonna be stuck here with me the whole time. There's over 100 people watching this right now. And you know what? Bueller, the fam thinks I'm worried about hang time. Bueller knows. I'm not worried about hang time. Let me tell you about my 5th number on this list. Wait for it. I'm gonna put Kick-Ass on there. The whole shit, because that's like encompasses the whole thing. And I love Kick-Ass. And it's John Romita Jr. and it's really good John Romita Jr. And I appreciate him for doing that series.
There you go. Well, hey, that was Desert Island. But I said that we weren't going to do the Rapid 10. I lied. We're going to do that as well.
Okay, so Rapid 10. Oh, look at this. God Tank saying Buffy, damn it. See, here's the thing, though. Boom Buffy isn't even done yet. So I got to wait. On Boom Buffy. If we're talking about Dark Horse Buffy, nah, dude. We're not putting that on Desert Island. Buffy is saved for Desert Island TV shows. There you go. All
right, you ready for the Rapid 10? And some of these you actually already answered during this video. So first one. LeBron, Kobe, or Jordan?
Oh, geez. Kobe.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah. Xbox, Nintendo, or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Coffee or beer?
Beer. Coffee makes me poop a lot, but I still drink it.
Okay, that's great information. Thank you for sharing.
It's a natural laxative, dude. It's like I drink it a lot. Like I had a venti iced latte today, but I have them add shots. Like no, I have them add chai, so it turns it into a dirty chai, but they put 3 shots in there, and it's great. Wakes you right up.
Very cool. I like. But
then there's
dirty
consequences.
Chais are good. Yeah. Buffy or Angel?
Oh, Buffy, of course. Oh, of course. Buffy, hands down. Yeah.
And I'm going to kind of elaborate from that one. Buffy or The Office?
Buffy or The Office?
Yeah.
I probably watch The Office more often.
Okay.
And I think The Office is it's like one of the most perfect shows for sure. But Buffy is honestly, I thought about getting an Office tattoo, but I'm probably not going to make that happen. I will get a Buffy tattoo. So if that means anything. There
you go. I think you answered this earlier. Favorite Power Ranger?
Yeah, Green Ranger. Yeah. White Ranger, Tommy.
Okay.
And Mighty Morphin. That's the only ones I really kept up with.
As far as a superpower, super strength or super intelligence?
Super intelligence for sure.
I know you said you weren't like watching too much wrestling, but Shawn Michaels or Bret Hart?
Dude, Shawn Michaels, dude.
There you
Absolutely. Go. That is a time that I did watch wrestling, is when Shawn Michaels was, like Randy Owen was big when I watched him. Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like I would go to the it's like when they come up to do the actual filming, they actually come up a couple days before the official, like what's going to be live broadcast. Mm-hmm. And they typically do like a run through the night before that isn't broadcasted to like prepare. And it's like nothing major happens in those fights, but it's them just practicing. Yeah. I would go to those in high school all the time. And it was so cool to go to those ones because there's less people. And dude, I was right there with Eddie Guerrero. And oh my gosh, who else was it? Oh, the guy who went nuts, man. Who was the guy who really went
the nuts? Chris Benoit guy?
Dude, I touched Chris Benoit's. He had the belt when I saw him in high school, and I got to freaking touch it. I was right there, like at the end of the line where they go in and then they turn and go down to the way forward where the ring is. I was there at right at that turn. So when they walked out, they were walking right at me every time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so it's crazy, and I got to touch it and stuff. And then I'm like, oh, dude, that's that guy. So that's crazy stuff, dude. That happened. I forgot that ever happened until this moment, to be honest. I'm like, that happened in high school. Yeah. Crazy. Wow. I'm learning about myself today.
To kind of date myself, I'm sitting ringside watching Andre the Giant and Ultimate Warrior.
Oh,
and
wow.
that was pretty cool. And actually, Bret Hart gave us his glasses. So that was pretty cool. Yeah,
that's pretty dope, dude.
I think my buddy, he might still have them. I don't know. Last two from the quick 10, Mary Jane Watson or Gwen Stacy?
Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy? Oh, that's cool. That's a good question. Man, that's a tough one because Gwen Stacy, I don't know. Gwen Stacy is a...
Look at him.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one because it's they both mean so much to me for completely different reasons.
Yeah.
So MJ, because it's MJ, that's who we know because it's MJ. But Gwen Stacy marks this this change in comics and specifically in the run that affects everybody who gets into Spider-Man and everybody who gets into collecting. Hearing the Guru talk about Gwen Stacy, you'll be like, damn, dude. I really dude, it's I'm literally near speechless trying to it's really tough. That's a tough question.
These are supposed to be quick answers, Tom.
I know, dude. But it can't be quick without elaboration because I'm gonna say MJ, but I want to say Gwen Stacy because of how she makes me feel, how the story makes me feel, and specifically Jose Luis Duran, who drew her a ton in Mexico and helped popularize Spider-Man to an entire generation of people and gets very little credit from it. So I think of all of that, then I think of Gwen Stacy too. So I'm like, oh, both, but yeah, MJ for sure.
All right. Last one, MC Hammer or Vanilla Ice?
Vanilla Ice, dude. Come on. I sit in front of Vanilla Ice every day, dude. That's signed by him, dude. That was a gift from Russ. He gave that to me on my birthday.
That's
how cool
awesome,
is that?
Man.
That's that shows you a good friend right there. He's it's one of those things. Some people, they don't know what to get me. They're like, I'll get him a comic book. And then Russ comes in and he's like, yo, dude, check this out. I got this for you. It's freaking signed by Vanilla Ice. What? Doesn't even make sense. But yeah, got some good homies.
What's you have a favorite song from Vanilla Ice? Ice Ice Baby, probably. Or the Turtle song.
Yeah. The Turtle song is really good. I actually just watched that recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I honestly, like, I don't know any other Vanilla Ice songs besides Ice Ice Baby. I like him for other reasons. I mean, he's kind of a weird guy, but there's a lot of stuff that I have seen that I really enjoyed. I don't know if you ever seen like the Surreal Life or any of that, but he is more of a reality star that I like. So that's a thing.
Did you ever hear his remake, the hardcore version of Ice Ice Baby?
The metal version? Heck
yeah, that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I'd be surprised if I don't hear Johnny Case listening to that next time he signs.
That's awesome. Well, hey man, that was it. You made it. You made it through the desert island. You made it through the rapid 10. You did a great job. I mean, you took a lot longer than everyone else, but that's okay.
You gave me some tough questions, man, and he gave me more than other people.
That's true.
So like, it's kind of tough. Some of those questions threw me for a whirlwind. I thought this wasn't going to be like gotcha journalism, but now,
yeah,
that's what it is.
Gotcha. I asked that same question to all three guests so far. Tom, I'm going to give it to you. Go ahead and promote everything that's going on your channel before we wrap it up.
ComicTom 101 here on YouTube. I had Bueller on. I have a ton of other members of the community on all the time. We chat a lot about comic books, but the main thing we focus on is content and really being respectful of your time. It means a lot to us that you take any time out of your day to watch any of the content we make for you. So we do our best to hit the mic with reason, with purpose, with practice, with efficiency, and we take time in scripting and editing. And Bueller does that too. There's a reason why he just passed 10K, blew past it. So hit the subscribe button for my homie, and also hit the like button on this video. It's going to help out this channel and this video. But really, we make content nearly every day. We're releasing stuff on YouTube. You can find us on any of the audio platforms to check out our podcast. And then again, on the weekends, we do the top 10 hot comics of the list week every single week. We team up with Key Collector Comics, the best comic book app that exists on the market. And we produce a video that just tells you a little bit of like, I don't know, I like to call it like the historical record of the week, of that week of the year, that of like what the comic book community was buying and what was hot. And we try to, bring it to you with excitement that we feel, because we all have passion for these books as well. So come and say hi over on my channel at ComicTom 101. We have Overstreet advisors on the channel. We have Golden Age specialists on the channel. We have other YouTubers that are doing awesome stuff on the channel. And we have content creators on the channel regularly. And I'm down there all the time, and I love comics. So like, if you want to listen to me chat about comics, I will like get you sick about it by talking about it so much. And if that's what you're looking for, come on over. You can be part of our community too.
Very cool. I do have your link down below, so if anyone wants to jump on over and check that out, it's down below. It's also a featured channel on my homepage as well. I want to say thank you so much to Tom for being my guest for this Wednesday. Like I said before, we have Reggie coming on tomorrow for Reggie Collects, and then on Friday, our final night of interview week, we have Brian from Simpleman Comics. Thank you, everyone who took the time in the chat to hang out with us tonight. This was a lot of fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what to do. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Peace out, comic fam. Geek responsibly.